spending, fraud, waste, and abuse.
The House passes President Donald Trump's controversial rescission package, slashing billions for foreign aid and public broadcasting stations.
Plus, the Department of Justice is asking the court to unseal records in the Jeffrey Epstein case. This comes amid growing calls among Trump's base to release all the files.
And
congratulations to everybody. This is a big deal.
President Trump signs the Genius Bill into law, marking a major advancement for cryptocurrency technology. Newswatch starts right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ty Carpenter.
And I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld. Welcome to Newswatch.
You are taking a look at Jackson, Ohio after last night's storms.
Several culverts collapsed and some roads are still closed. We reached out to Jackson County officials for clarification on which areas were affected and did not hear back.
The Jackson Fire Department is urging the public to exercise extreme caution when driving. In the meantime, counties across southeast Ohio, including Jackson, are still under a flood watch until late tonight.
For more on tonight's storms, let's hear from forecaster Steve Nedlick. Steve, what can we expect tonight?
Yeah, guys, about all of southeastern Ohio is under a flood watch right now, but we're specifically looking at those low-lying areas that have received a lot of rain over the past few days, because those are where you're going to see those roadways start to flood. And a big reason for this flooding is this constant rain we've been under over the past few days, and right now is no different. We've seen these storms pop up over the past hour or two, and they've really started to increase in intensity, much like they have earlier in the week. Now, we can kind of really tell what areas have already seen the rain today and what areas are still waiting on it. Up north, we're in the low 70s still, but as we dip down into Athens, we're still at 84, so we're waiting on that one big break from that storm to drop our temperatures too. For tonight, we're not really going to start to see that storm wane off like we have in the past few days. It's going to keep its intensity, so watch out for that tonight. And those rainy conditions really aren't going to go anywhere as we head into the weekend, and that's going to cause some morning fog to enter our region. So if you're heading anywhere early tomorrow, make sure you exercise extra caution. And that mugginess also really isn't going to go anywhere, so stay tuned for my full forecast where we break down what the rest of the week looks like.
The Fairfield County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in finding a missing teen. 15-year-old Zaylin Kesterson went missing yesterday from the Cincinnati-Zanesville Road area in Fairfield. She was last seen with a pink backpack. Zaylin has black hair, blue eyes, and a nose ring. She is 5 feet tall and weighs around 115 pounds. Law enforcement believes she is in the Lancaster area. If you have any information about her location, you can call the number on your screen. Fairfield County woman is arrested for unlawful contact with a minor. The 38-year-old Amanda Spain of Lancaster, Ohio, is charged with a felony. The Fairfield County Sheriff's Office opened the investigation after receiving reports of an underage male victim. Spain is currently being held in the Fairfield County Jail. The investigation is ongoing. If you have any information, you can contact the number on your screen.
The Trimble Local School District is considering placing a levy on the ballot this November. Interim Superintendent Lindy Douglas said the board will consider both an income tax levy and an earned income tax levy. The idea was debated at a board meeting last month, where then Superintendent John Hurd stated a 1.5% income tax levy would produce about $900,000 for the school district. Douglas invited members of the public to attend and debate the percentage the tax will be. The meeting will take place this Monday at 6 p.m. in the Trimble High School cafeteria. The Southeast Ohio Food Bank puts a pause on scheduling new mobile markets for the month of July. Federal funding cuts and an increase in demand for the food has caused the food bank to reserve their supply for local food pantries. According to Eva Bloom, the Hocking-Athens-Perry Community Action Program Development Director, about 90% of all food distributed by the food bank last year was given out through their pantry network. Because of this, the pantry takes a priority over the mobile markets.
What we don't want to do is have our pantries reach out to us for assistance to stock their shelves and not have that available for them. And so that's why we've just taken a step back to take a look at what we have available and what the best way and most equitable way to distribute that is.
The Southeast Ohio Food Bank will still put on their mobile market already scheduled for next Saturday in Wellston and will release their August and September mobile market dates as normal. They also say that if you are in need of food assistance, please visit the website on your screen and enter your zip code to find food pantries near you.
9 school districts across Southeast Ohio are getting about $10 million from the Ohio Department of Education. The money comes from literacy grants as a part of Governor Mike DeWine's Read Ohio initiative. The program aims to raise statewide literacy rates. The grants will establish literacy sites that provide literacy coaching, professional development, and daily reading instruction for students. 33 schools across the state receive grants totaling more than $45 million. In the wake of mass layoffs and funding cuts, at the Department of Education, states are scrambling to make up the difference. Earlier this week, the Supreme Court gave the Trump administration the go-ahead to continue layoffs at the DOE. Trump says this will give states more power over education. Governor DeWine says he welcomes the state having more control over education, but wants more clarity on how the transition will work. President Trump also froze nearly $7 billion in agency funding that would have gone to states in 2024. Ohio received more than $180 million in federal grants for education. State officials say they're still working out finances for this year.
Governor DeWine says the future of property tax reform is in lawmakers' hands. The Ohio House will be interrupting their summer break to reconvene for a special session Monday at 11 a.m. There, lawmakers will discuss overriding 3 of DeWine's vetoes concerning property taxes. Some Republicans want to overturn the vetoes as soon as possible, so homeowners will have lower tax bills in January. The Senate has yet to set their own date to discuss the governor's vetoes, but lawmakers have until the end of next year to make a decision. The Republican-controlled House passed a rescission package clawing back $9 billion from the federal budget.
The money was allocated for public broadcasting and foreign aid. Karen Kafa reports from Washington.
House Republicans signed off on billions of dollars in funding cuts sought by President Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, handing the president another legislative win.
We clawed back $9 billion in taxpayer funds and wasteful spending, fraud, waste, and abuse.
The DOGE spending cuts were passed under an obscure and rarely used budget law that prevented a Senate filibuster. And they canceled $9 billion in federal funding that was previously approved by Congress. $1.1 billion will be stripped from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which helps fund NPR and PBS. And about $8 billion will be taken from foreign aid programs. The U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, was one of the first agencies targeted by DOGE. With staffing decimated, nearly 500 metric tons of emergency aid food is set to expire this month and will be destroyed at taxpayer expense.
It takes a lot of people, a lot of workers, a lot of contracts to move this food around the world, and all of those people were laid off. All of the USAID programs were suspended.
Democrats chastising Republicans who have supported the administration's cuts.
It's going to make us less safe. It's going to take funding away from public broadcasting for our kids when they're already having an all-out assault on public education.
House Speaker Mike Johnson hinted at further federal funding cuts, describing rescissions as an ongoing quest. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
President Trump signs a bill regulating a certain type of cryptocurrency known as stablecoins. The Genius Act is Congress's first major bill regulating crypto. The act will set guidelines that would require stablecoin issuers to comply with U.S. anti-money laundering and sanctions rules. Stablecoins are crypto assets that are tied to the value of other assets like the U.S. dollar. Trump praised the law, saying it marks a new milestone for the country.
This is really a big day. This afternoon, we take a giant step to cement American dominance of global finance and crypto technology as we sign the landmark Genius Act into law. So congratulations to everybody. This is a big deal.
Trump also said the law will be good for the economy.
President Trump is suing the Wall Street Journal for libel after the paper published a story about a 2003 letter Trump sent to Epstein with a drawing of a naked woman in it. This comes as the president asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce, quote, any and all pertinent testimony related to Epstein. Julia Benbrook is at the White House with the latest.
When the Department of Justice and the FBI released a memo last week announcing that it had not found a so-called client list incriminating associates of Jeffrey Epstein, it inflamed years-long conspiracy theories, some of which had been previously pushed by members of the Trump administration. The memo came months after Attorney General Pam Bondi hyped purportedly soon-to-be-released documents and suggested she had the so-called client list on her desk. She has since suggested she was referring to other documents. But as pressure from the MAGA base continues to build and many are calling for more information to be released, President Donald Trump posted this on social media. He said, quote, "Based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury information subject to court approval." The process for that could be lengthy as the courts weigh privacy and other concerns, but Bondi confirmed her department would ask the court to unseal the grand jury transcripts. Trump's announcement came after the Wall Street Journal published a report detailing a letter sent to Epstein in 2003 bearing a drawing of a naked woman and Trump's name. The report shows the letter concluded with the line, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Trump denies that he wrote that letter, and in a social media post responding to the story, he vowed to sue the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch, saying that he had warned them not to publish the article. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
The White House reveals President Trump has chronic venous insufficiency. Doctors say the condition isn't overly concerning so long as it doesn't lead to or indicate more serious issues. The White House says Trump's medical team tested for those extensively and found nothing.
Laboratory testing included a complete blood count, comprehensive metabolic panel, coagulation profile, D-dimer, B-type natriuretic peptide, and cardiac biomarkers. All results were within normal limits. An echocardiogram was also performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function.
Experts say while Trump's age is a risk factor, medication is a possible treatment. But doctors recommend lifestyle changes, elevation of the legs, and compression socks. The White House also acknowledges bruising on Trump's hand, but health analysts say it's probably unrelated and unconcerning.
The European Union approves new sanctions on Russia over its war in Ukraine. Officials say the sanctions will target Russia's banking, energy, and military-industrial sectors. The U.S. also threatened to increase sanctions on Russia to spur peace talks with Ukraine.
If Russia refuses to legitimately agree to a ceasefire, then they will face very steep tariffs and they will also face secondary sanctions.
The United Kingdom also put sanctions on Russia's military intelligence unit, the GRU. These are only the latest EU sanctions on Russia, as each round is getting harder to impose because of how it affects EU members. Coming up, the Trump administration announces a new flash flood risk database, going against the president's previous stance on natural disasters.
And are you in for the market for electric in the market for an electric vehicle? President Trump's latest tariffs on China may hike up prices.
We're in for a humid and stormy next few days. Find out what that means for your weekend plans next.
Next time on The Great American Recipe. We want to see more of the recipes you prepare for friends and family. It's holiday time.
Yeah, rock and roll, everyone.
I'm making seafood gumbo.
Bring the flavor.
Woo! Friend, how's that skin looking?
This looks good.
Gentle heat on the breast side.
Thank you, Chef.
This is banging.
Look at this feast.
I'm bringing the A game.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
This is the moment that you've been waiting for.
On your marks, get set, go!
Discover extraordinary lost worlds.
I know scientists that would give their right arm for this.
This is heaven. Hope y'all ready.
Visit us online.
Welcome to the age of humans.
We've basically transformed the hydrology of the entire planet. In the 30s, 40s, and 50s, it was tame the river, build the dams. People are being assaulted by toxic particulates.
There is hope for us to do things right.
We imagine a future and author it, but we also sometimes imagine futures that become impossible to sustain.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
In the wake of severe floods across the country, the Trump administration is moving forward with a critical flash flood risk database. This database would for the first time take climate change into account when making precipitation frequency estimates. It would help people understand their risk for flash flooding and help civil engineers, designers, and builders with construction and infrastructure projects. The move comes after it was reported earlier this week the administration paused work on parts of the project. So Steve, we've been in that flood watch recently. Is this rain going to last us throughout the whole week, or are we going to get some relief?
And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be here pretty much the whole week, so not looking good in regards to that.
Yeah, and are those showers going to be throughout the day for the rest of the week, or do you think they'll be spotty like what we've seen so far?
So they're going to stay spotty for a majority of the weekend, but then they're going to switch to pretty widespread showers Sunday, late Sunday night. So we're going to get a mixed bag, but if we look outside right now, they are still scattered out there. We've kind of been dealing with off and on rain all day, but we haven't gotten that big storm yet, so fingers crossed that stays away, because we are still dealing with, again, all of these flood watches in our region. A lot of southeastern Ohio is still dealing with that, so those low-lying areas really are susceptible to rising water. So if you see that as you're driving tonight, make sure to turn around, because driving through standing water is never a good idea. And if we look at the temperature map, we're kind of, again, a mixed bag. That's kind of the story today, is we have 70s up north in New Philadelphia, Newark area, and then as we head back down to Athens, we're still in the mid-80s because we're waiting on that big storm to help cool us off. But one thing that's staying constant is this humidity that we just haven't been able to get rid of. It's just kind of been trapped in our area, making it feel a lot warmer than it really has been. And a big reason for that is this stationary front that just doesn't seem to really get out of our way over the past few days, but that's going to slowly start to change as it pushes up north tomorrow. So that's going to give those rain chances to like the Cleveland area tomorrow, but we're still going to be dealing with, again, those spotty showers. But the next big thing, the big change, is coming Sunday morning when this cold front moves into our region, and that's going to introduce a lot of widespread rain, and it's not going to be very spotty like we've been seeing. We're going to be able to track it more accurately with the time because it's going to be pushing in with this cold front. So when we get to Sunday night, that's going to bring a lot of these showers, maybe possible severe thunderstorms, because it's just this cold front's going to lift that air up into the atmosphere, and that's what we get these thunderstorms with. Now the good thing is it's going to help cut out the humidity. So kind of a give and take situation, because that humidity is going to go away and those temperatures are going to go down, but we're going to have to get through some storms first. And that's why we have a marginal risk of severe weather on Sunday. And then as we head up north or into central Ohio, they have a slight risk. So we got to get through those storms, and then we'll get a little bit of relief as we head into the next few days. As for tonight, those storms are going to stick around. It's going to be a warm, muggy one, only a low of 68. And those showers are going to stick around until 2, 3 in the morning, until they finally taper off, until they get heated up tomorrow again, because we're going to have these, again, spotty showers. The sun's going to help agitate the atmosphere, and we're going to get the same thing we've been dealing with over the next 24 hours. We have that 70% chance of rain in the mid-80s, and it really isn't going to go anywhere because we get that cold front coming through, and that's going to give us some relief. But if we look at the next 6 to 10 days, the temperature average, we're looking at about 8 to 9 degrees above average. So that heat is going to come back along with that humidity. So definitely enjoy the first 2 days of next week, because we're looking at 82, 86, and only a small chance of rain for those 2 days until we start to heat back up, and that is also going to bring thunderstorms with it. So we're going to be watching for possible flooding for the next week. So again, make sure if you're heading out the door at all over the next week, grab an umbrella, grab your rain boots, because this rain really isn't going to go anywhere after we get that 2-day break at the beginning of next week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Steve. The cost of building electric vehicles in the U.S. could be going way up. The Commerce Department is placing a 93.5% tariff on Chinese graphite, a key item needed for building EVs. This decision was applauded by the U.S. graphite producers, who claim Chinese producers have dominated the market and prevented American companies from becoming established. Analysts say this move will escalate trade tensions between the U.S. and China. The Trump administration is also cutting federal support from EVs and is focusing on recalling federal government loans backing the construction of EV factories, batteries, and plants. Despite rising tariffs, consumer sentiment inched higher this month. A new survey from the University of Michigan puts the economic indicator at 61.8. That's roughly in line with economists' expectations of 61.5. It's a 5-month high, but it still hasn't recovered from the decline spurred by President Trump's trade war. Compared to December, sentiment is down about 16%. Survey respondents also lowered their expectations for inflation next year, dropping to 4.4% from 5% in June.
When you cook these things, especially at high temperatures, you may be releasing other chemicals.
Next on Newswatch, experts weigh in on which cooking oils are the best for your health.
For some of us, the struggle never ends.
I know he's not easy to work with, but now I need you to step up.
You're not looking for one killer, but two.
You don't believe that a death can be transformational?
We're probably dealing with a psychopath.
We have to catch who's behind this.
You should have called me. I did. Yes, you did. I must have ignored it.
I think you need to brace yourself for this, sir. I get straight to the matter. Please do.
Is there anyone you didn't invite? You're welcome.
I can't leave a puzzle unsolved any more than you can. But what happens if she's wrong?
She's been right about everything else. A man gets murdered, and seemingly impossibly, his murderer escapes. Politics is all about knowing what hand to play and when to play it.
Sunday on WOUB.
You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough.
This is our chance to prove ourselves. Here's to possibilities.
Well, then we best get started.
There's much about me that you don't know.
You're persistent, I'll give you that. You have been busy.
Justice never sleeps. Every time I see you, there are more of you. And we're even more successful.
You are many things. You're not boring.
Let's not get carried away. We are going to do this together. I'm really impressed.
We're looking for 3 tons of gold. It's murder. We have a match.
Probably just coincidence. Nope.
There's never a dull moment.
Affordable Care Act insurers are proposing their steepest premium increases since 2018. KFF, a health policy research group, found insurers are asking for a typical rate increase of 15%, with more than a quarter proposing hikes of more than 20%. Of 20% or more. ACA premium subsidies expires at the end of this year, prompting many insurers to raise rates by an additional 4% on average. Rising healthcare costs account for about half of the coming year's proposed increases, with the other half being influenced by the Trump administration's policies.
Denials for prescription drugs by private insurance companies shot up 25% between 2016 and 2023. The medical data company Komodo Health studied more than 4 billion claims. The findings do not say what happened after denials, but insurance industry officials said some prescriptions were eventually approved. Some experts say artificial intelligence may have contributed to claim denials.
With olive oil, seed oil, vegetable oil, and more, the types of cooking oils can seem endless.
All can be used to cook foods, but it can be hard to tell which is the healthiest. Mandy Gaither talks to a health expert about how to figure out the right cooking oil for you.
Animal fats and globs of butter. That's how food traditionally has been cooked over generations. That's until these methods were linked to heart disease.
I think that's what really prompted the desire and the need to find other ways of cooking foods.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says on top of that, there's some concern about seed oils like canola oil or grapeseed oil. Some health experts like the American Heart Association say there's no reason to avoid them, while others believe seed oils are overly processed and may promote inflammation.
And then when you cook these things, especially at high temperatures, you may be releasing other chemicals. So it's really that pro-inflammatory state that people are most concerned about.
But in a sea of different cooking oils, figuring out which is right for you can be hard. Gupta says it'll depend on your risks. For example, if you have heart disease in your family history, you'll want to limit saturated fat in your diet. And he says to do your homework.
With regard to seed oils, though, I think plant-based oils, some are going to be better than others. Olive oil and avocado oil are going to have a better track record, for example. But even if you're looking at some of the seed-based oils, specifically canola oil, probably going to be better than corn oil, for example.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Still ahead, I'm Joshua Horner reporting live inside of Hot Box Chicken Fingers and Tots ahead of tonight's first ever Hottest Box contest. Stay tuned for a look at tonight's stiff competition.
Now we'll be right back, but here's a look at what's coming up next on WOUB.
Alaska's remoteness demands both self-reliance and tight community.
home to hundreds of indigenous tribes and frontier seekers. It's among the most diverse U.S. states. From Utqiagvik to Homer, I meet the people who live it every day.
Do not cut, just enjoy.
Join me for the series premiere of Patty Hinich Explores Panamericana.
Tonight at 10 on WOUB.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
I love it.
We're on the precipice of a great discovery.
I love it.
Welcome. Whoa, Nelly.
Let's set this palace
On fire.
I love it.
Welcome to the News Hour.
What does it mean politically?
Oh.
Fasten your seatbelt. I love it. I love it.
Delighted to hear it. You make a good team.
Samuel wants to date, leave home, go to college. Yet every rite of passage is fraught with challenges. Can a community of disability activists help him follow his dreams?
My life can be complicated, but I'm willing to take risks to live a full life, a fun life, a good life.
The Ride Ahead on POV.
Monday at 10 on WOUB.
Hotbox Chicken is hosting one of their final events for Brew Week, a Hot Ones Chicken Tender Challenge.
Newswatch reporter Joshua Herner is participating in the challenge for charity and joins us live with the latest from Hotbox.
Ty, Charlie, and Steve, all proceeds from tonight's challenge benefit a scholarship for all 5 Athens County high schools funded by Hotbox. $20 is the entry fee that is set to begin here, for the contest, that is set to begin here in the next few minutes. The challenge involves eating 11 chicken tenders, 1 featuring Hotbox sauce, and 10 with sauces getting increasingly hotter from the viral Hot Ones challenge. The winner receives a t-shirt and this trophy courtesy of Hotbox. So far, there are about 5 or 6 contestants here, including myself, that all seem to be ready to go. Guys, water, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll for this challenge.
So, Josh, how many do you think you've got in you?
You know, guys, it'll all depend when I get to about 9 or 10, and if I'm feeling the heat, I don't know if I got it in me. But if things go smooth, hopefully we're able to get them all down. There is a tiebreaker for tonight's challenge, so we'll see how that goes as well. So make sure you stay tuned to Monday's Newswatch to see how I fared in this challenge. But for now, reporting for Newswatch, I'm Joshua Herner, live in Athens.
So, guys, how many do we think he's going to get to? Me, personally, I think he's getting to about 9.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be pretty hot, Steve. You know, he might need a relief.
And that's exactly what he's going to get with that rain we have coming tonight. And as we look at the rest of the week, it's going nowhere because it's rain over the next 7 days, so stay tuned.
Well, that does it for our broadcast this evening. For Joshua Horner and Steve Nedlick, I'm Ty Carpenter.
And I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Have a great night.